Moses Malone.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Moses Malone.
Shaquille O'Neal.
There's a crowd is really alive right now. Moses Malone brings it down to Shaq.
On this episode of NBA Now and Then, the greatest comparisons, we compare two dominant big men from their respective eras.
This center ruled the paint in the 70s and led Philly to a title in the 80s, solidifying his place in basketball history.
His larger-than-life persona is part of his business brand, but his unstoppable play on the court defined his NBA legacy.
Even with a swarming double team, opponents who tried containing these two were always in for a long night.
We are eager to present to you Moses Malone and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Uriah.
I'm Maurice.
I'm Lucas.
And I'm Paul.
And we're here to talk NBA
Now and Then.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of NBA Now and Then. We have a special guest co-host recording with us right now. Give it up for author Paul Nepper. How are you, Paul? What's going on with you, sir?
Woo! Welcome, Paul.
Thanks. Thanks for having me, guys. It's great to be here. I love the pod, and I'm excited to participate.
So Paul Nepper is the author of A Knicks of the 90s and his recent book, a biography about Moses Malone, The Life of a Basketball Prophet, will be out this November. Paul, before we start our episode, please let everybody know where they can buy your book, where they can find your stuff online. Go ahead and give yourself a little blast right now.
Thanks. You could find me. First you can find the book at Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, all those places now for pre-order, and then it'll be in bookstores on November 1st. You could follow me on X at PaulineP. That's PauliekNep. Or check out what I'm doing lately on my website at PaulJNepper.com.
Yeah. And Paul, you have your own podcast, correct? Where you interview authors?
I do. It's part of the New Books Network. I interview new authors about their sports books.
Awesome. Great pod. I love listening to you guys. And also, I'm a big reader when I have time to read. And I definitely, I'm always looking for books recommendations. I'll definitely check out your podcast more often to get some good reads. So let's get right to it, guys. We're talking two larger-than-life basketball icons, centers from different eras, crazy talented, crazy impact on the game. Their legacy goes far and wide. But let's let everybody listening know why we are comparing these players. I think I'll go to Paul first. Why are we comparing Moses Malone to Shaquille O'Neal?
You know, there are a number of reasons. One is they were both elite rebounders. Shaq more so just by his sheer physicality and size, right? He was just so much bigger than everyone else, took up so much space, and was a great athlete for his size. So he controlled the boards, particularly on the defensive end. Moses was a dominant rebounder. You know, he was 6'10", which was a little undersized for a center in his day, but he was incredibly active. He was relentless, attacking the boards, and had the nickname the chairman of the boards, because he would just overwhelm people. I know Caldwell Jones, who was a one-time teammate, later opponent, said trying to box out Moses was like boxing out an octopus, because he was just constantly coming at you with and you know, everybody was talked about his high motor, and so he did it a little more with relentless effort, whereas Shaq relied more on, I would say, sheer size. But the end result was that they were both dominant rebounders.
Excellent points. I haven't heard the octopus one, so I'm going to definitely be looking out for that, some stuff online for that. Lucas, why are we comparing these players today?
Well, if you've listened to the pod at all, you guys know that I love big men and I love post moves, and these guys dominated the interior with their overwhelming size and just power.
Yeah, nicely put, concise and to the point. And Maurice, why are we comparing Moses to Shaq?
Two championship big men. Both of them have the pedigree, so whereas though they don't even have to be the best player on the team. They can be the second best player in the case of Kobe or Dr. J. But when it came to the championship rounds, both of them stood their ground. Both of them were dominant MVPs. Wiganowski said.
Yeah, most valuable player awards and then some.
Yeah.
I look at these players and they're just so much fun to watch, especially in their prime. And I'll get into the biography segment. They have a lot more in common than you would think in terms of their upbringing, some of the struggles that they faced. But I just got to keep it light. Nothing is better than Moses saying, "Foe, foe, foe," trying to predict the Sixers' victory. And he was close. I think
Close.
they lost one game,
They
right?
lost one game,
They lost one game, right? And then Shaq, I mean, he's standing up there on the stage and he's, getting the LA crowd hyped up and he's like, "Can you dig it?" Like these guys, Shaq is a little bit more, actually a lot more effervescent with his personality, where Paul will elaborate on some of the, I guess you could see him as like a recluse or a little enigmatic, but nevertheless, Moses was a dominant player. So was Shaq. That being said, you guys ready to get started?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's get to it. All right, it's time to talk about Shaq, a.k.a. the Diesel, a.k.a. the Big Aristotle, a.k.a. Superman, a.k.a. Shaq Fu, a.k.a. Shaq Daddy, a.k.a. the Big Cactus, a.k.a. the Big Shamrock. Did I say them all, guys?
Yeah, I think so. I think the Shaq, this is the great Aristotle.
Yeah. I don't think he has enough nicknames. Someone's got to get in touch with Shaq and say he's got to expand his nickname.
He has to have more.
Before he got those nicknames, he was born Shaquille Rashawn O'Neal on March 6, 1972 in Newark, New Jersey. He grew up in a rough neighborhood marked by crime and poverty. According to a People.com article, his biological father, Joseph Toney, went to prison for writing fraudulent checks when Shaq was just an infant. So he wasn't part of Shaq's early life. Now, his mother, Lucille O'Neal, was on her own to raise Shaq and admitted that she had to go on welfare to make ends meet before getting a job. So Shaquille's first name actually means little one. Who can guess what his middle name Rashawn means? I'll give you three options. A, Rashawn means God's light. B, warrior. Or C, king. Let's go with Lucas first. Which one do you want to go with?
I'm going to go with warrior.
All right. And Maurice?
King.
And Paul?
I'll take God's light.
God's light. All right. Let's see. Lucas, this is for you, sir. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Starting off strong.
So Rashawn means warrior. So Shaquille means little warrior. All right. So then at some point, Shaquille's mother married his eventual stepfather, Philip Harrison. I'm sure people are familiar with that name because Shaq just gives him props any chance he can get. And Phil Harrison was a career Army sergeant. Mr. Harrison became a strict but loving father figure who provided the discipline that a young Shaq needed. As a child, Shaq was always big for his age, and by 13 years old, he was 6 feet 7 inches tall. Where did Shaq begin honing his basketball skills? Was it in A, San Antonio, B, Hinesville, Georgia, or C, Germany? I'll go with Paul first.
Georgia?
All right, he said Georgia. Lucas, what do you think?
What branch of the military was his stepdad in again?
I think he was Army.
Okay, then it's not Germany. Germany's known for their Air Force Base. I'm also going to say Georgia.
Georgia, okay. And Maurice?
I'm going to go San Antonio.
All right, so...
Oh, Maurice is right.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you're all wrong.
It was Germany?
Yes,
Was
it
Germany?
was Germany. Yes, Shaq spent some time overseas, and that was a very pivotal time in his life and development, not just in basketball, but, his adolescence. And so he spent some time in Germany. Now, when his Newark neighborhood began declining, Phil moved the family to Georgia. Then they relocated to Germany, and then they ended up in San Antonio because of Mr. Harrison's military placement. A major turning point was when he attended Robert Cole High School in San Antonio, where he led that team to a state championship and caught the eye of college scouts nationwide. You guys want to hear some of Shaq's awards and stats from high school?
Sure. Absolutely.
All right, let's do an over-under. Over-under his senior year, how many points per game did Shaq average? Over-under 30 points. Paul, you were first.
I'll take the over.
All right, Lucas.
Take the under, because if it was over, he would have gone to Duke or UNC.
All right, Maurice.
I'm going to go over as well.
All right, Maurice and Paul, this is for you.
That's not for them.
Wrong button. Paul's like, yeah, I had the wrong button, Paul. Here's what I meant to push. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah. So the answer was over. Shaq averaged 31 points and 22 rebounds a game with 6 assists.
Ooh.
Yes,
Wow.
Shaq was that dude in high school. Awards that he earned include Parade All-American and McDonald's All-American. As a teenager, Shaq attended a game at Madison Square Garden. I did not know this, by the way. This was fascinating to me. It was a Knicks versus Sixers game. What NBA player from that game inspired Shaq to play professional basketball? I'll go with Maurice first.
The obvious choice has to be Patrick Ewing.
All
I'm going to go Patrick Ewing.
Paul?
I believe it's Patrick.
All right. And Lucas?
I'm not going to be different. I'll say Patrick as well.
You should have been different.
Was it Charles?
No, the answer was Dr. J.
Oh, that's a
And
nice
I have
tie-in.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I have a quote from Shaq about Dr. J in that game that he saw in person. So Shaq said, and I quote, "That's when I said, okay, that's what I want to do. I'm a changed man. From that day on, no more juvenile delinquent, tried better in school, stayed out of trouble. When Dr. J went baseline and the crowd went crazy, I was like, I want that. I want people to scream my name. That's what I want. So from that day on, I came and I practiced every day."
Nice.
Yeah. His childhood story is one of overcoming obstacles through family support, discipline, and the stabilizing force of basketball. His mom and stepfather's guidance helped ground him and kept him ambitious, shaping him into the dominant, larger-than-life personality that he would eventually become. So what do we think about Shaq before going to college? Let's go with Paul. What stands out to you from what we just talked about?
You know, it's interesting. We're taking the over under, and Lucas said that, you know, if it was over, that Shaq would have gone to Duke or UNC, and that's what jumps at me now. I can't think of it. Dale Brown. Dale Brown was a good coach at LSU, but it's interesting that you have this 7'1" kid, enormous kid, who was putting up these crazy numbers and won a high school championship. Presumably, everyone would have been in on the Shaq sweepstakes. It's interesting that Dale Brown won that recruiting war.
Yeah, that is interesting that he did choose LSU over those other schools. What about you, Lucas?
I think I want to build off of that. Like, why didn't we hear him? Like, if there's a reason, I would like to hear it next. But like, because you think about, well, actually during that time, Shaq was a dominant big man. You know where he would have gone, where all dominant big men go?
Georgetown.
Yeah.
Georgetown. He didn't
Okay.
go.
Right.
Yeah.
So why not? What happened there?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'll have to get back to you guys on that. Maurice, what stands out to you?
Well, what stands out to me, first of all, when he talks about his stepfather, he always called him Sarge. I do remember that. He always called him Sarge. And for Shaq to, I guess I got to go with Paul and Lucas on this one. For Shaq to average 31 and 20 and plus 21 rebounds in high school and to end up at LSU is not the norm, I'll say. And no, they got a good start there. I mean, that was probably LSU's one of LSU's. Now, Paul can correct me. One of LSU's biggest recruits.
Well,
maybe
they had a few
point.
good teams over. Oh, definitely up to that point.
Yeah,
well,
no, that's not true. That's
Pete
not
Maravich.
true.
Pete Maravich was pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
Forgot about that. Yes,
Yeah, I forgot about
I had
that
to
one.
catch myself. But then we actually did an episode on Pete Maravich, Paul. We found out it was because his dad was the coach.
Right.
Yes.
Press. That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We
Yep.
found out that his dad was actually played in the original first season of the NBA.
Yeah,
I
that was
didn't
a good
realize
tidbit.
that.
Yeah, that's a good pull, Lucas. I completely forgot about that.
So Mirovic, Shaq, and then for a while LSU was quiet. Well, Shaq also had what's the point guard's name? I can't pronounce
Chris Jackson. Chris Jackson went to LSU.
Well, I mean,
Abdul-Rauf. Yeah.
And then it was Glenn Davis was the next big one that I can think of, right?
Big Baby?
Yeah. Big
he
Baby.
Went to LSU? Okay.
Yeah. They called him Baby Shaq there.
Baby Shaq. Yeah.
Baby Shaq.
I mean, look at the guy. He's basically just like 3 inches shorter than Shaq.
But it happens. You have top recruits. Ben Simmons went to LSU. I think he was the number one recruit in the country, and they weren't. Yep. I mean, Ben Simmons, whatever it has become of him, he was a number one recruit then. And they're a guy, even
Tyrese Thomas.
Yeah, Tyrese Thomas, but even other schools, why did Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey go to Rutgers?
That's a fair question.
Yeah. They were top 5 prospects in the country. Like, why? So you do get these random selections. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe LSU just showed up at Shaq's doorstep with a big bag. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think the dad was in the middle. I bet you the dad probably made the decision. I almost feel like, because if the coach was like military focused or very like stern and strict, then I'm sure the dad would have signed off on it.
Yeah, I mean, and Del Brown was no slouch as a coach, and I'm sure he was a good salesman, and maybe he just struck a chord with the Sarge, like you said, and they just like Del Brown.
Yeah. Well, speaking of LSU, let's get right to it. It is well known that Shaq attended LSU from 1989 to 1992. At LSU, Shaq quickly became one of the most dominant big men in college basketball. Standing over 7 feet tall with unmatched power and agility, he overwhelmed opponents with dunks, blocks, rebounds. For his 3 college seasons, Shaq averaged 21.6 points, 13.5 boards, and 4.6 blocks a game.
Ooh.
That's crazy.
That's like the Kevin Mutombo
this is
college
Slim
numbers.
Shaq. This is Slim Shaq, where he could still play both sides of the court.
Slim Shaq.
Slim-ish Shaq. Let's be clear.
Yeah. He actually was pretty slim then. So, over under, how many free throw attempts per game did Shaq average at LSU? Over under 20 free throw attempts per game.
That means you're fouling out 4 guys per game.
Over under. Lucas, go ahead.
No, it's Paul. Paul's the guest. Let him go.
Okay, go ahead, Paul.
I mean, I have to go under on that. That's just I've never heard of that. I mean, I know he had to have had a lot, but wow. I'll take the under.
That was the original Shaq.
Yeah.
Is equal to a possible answer as well?
No, it's not. No,
it's not. Okay.
Yeah.
Because Uriah, Paul, you don't understand. Uriah likes to trick us sometimes and does the equal to without telling us. No, so I'm going to go. You know what? I feel like Uriah's trying to trip us up. It has to be. I think it's over. I'm going to say over.
Maurice?
I'm going to go under. That's a lot of hack-a-shacking.
All right. Lucas, this is for you, buddy.
I knew it was coming. The way that you said it, I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
As soon as you said buddy, I'm like, okay, I got it.
He did shoot a boatload of free throws. He averaged 14.3 free throw attempts.
You went all the way up to 20?
Wow.
I got to trick you somehow.
It was believable, though. I'll say that much.
Yeah, he got you, Lucas.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't worry. I get them all the time, like multiple times.
Age before beauty. So yeah, you are going to get me sometimes,
Okay.
There
all right,
go.
M. Night Shyamalan. Here we go.
Hey, don't hate on the Shyamalan.
So I have some quotes from Shaq about his LSU days. So former Ole Miss coach Ed Murphy said, quote, "There's nobody in the country with that size and ability. Olajuwon and Ewing weren't that good when they were playing in college." And former Golden State Warriors coach Don Nelson said this in the spring of Shaquille O'Neal's freshman season. Coach Nelson said, "This kid knows how to play. He passes the ball extremely well, and there's a purpose to his game. He's really something." Here are some of his college awards: SEC All-Freshman, AP Player of the Year 1990-91, 2-time SEC Player of the Year, 2-time Consensus First Team All-American, 2-time SEC All-Defense, and on top of that, he did win the Adolph Rupp Trophy in 1991 as the NCAA's top men's basketball player.
I've never heard of that person's name or that award before.
Sure you have. We've talked about that before. It just
we have?
We just hasn't popped up in recent episodes.
Okay.
So after his junior year, Shaquille O'Neal declared for the 1992 NBA draft and was selected number 1 overall by the Orlando Magic.
2 minutes between. Only 2 rounds in the NBA. And let's go now to David Stern for the first selection of 1992.
With the first pick in the 1992 NBA draft, the Orlando Magic selects Shaquille O'Neal from Louisiana State University.
As he said, what, me, the first pick? He walks into the arena, 8,000 fans in here cheering the first selection. In 1985 was the first lottery. Patrick Ewing went into the Knicks. You're looking at the family of Shaquille O'Neal, welcoming him to elite status among professional athletes around the world. 7'1", 300 pounds, only 20 years old.
Well, big smiles right now in Orlando, to say the least. Shaquille O'Neal is a force inside, offensively, defensively. I'd have to say right now his offense might be slightly behind his defense because he's so raw. He played against so many zone defenses, guys standing in front and behind him. You see his shot blocking ability. He runs the floor. He has great enthusiasm for a big man also, which I think is very, very important. He appears to be a guy who really loves to play basketball.
So, Paul, what stands out to you about Shaquille O'Neal in his LSU experience?
It's easy to look back at that team and wonder how they didn't win more, because he played with Chris Jackson, who was phenomenal. And he also played with it for at least a while with another dominant big man named Stanley Roberts. And you look at those three, college basketball is different then. There was a lot more talent across the board because people were staying if not 4 years, 2-3 years. And so there just was a lot more talent in the game, but it's crazy to look back. And I'm not sure how far they ever got. Like, I don't think Shaq ever got to a Final Four even with him and Chris Jackson, Stanley Roberts. So that's kind of what jumps out at me a little with that they didn't, you would expect more with that talent.
Yeah, very good point. Yeah, players back then definitely stayed longer, and it's surprising. It was surprising to me too when I was watching him in high school. I'm like, how come Shaq isn't in the Final Four? I was just surprised by that. Yeah. Maurice, what about you? What stands out to you about Shaq playing at LSU?
Well, I think the highlight we just heard highlights one of Shaq's faults, and maybe why some people, at least coming out of high school into LSU, were skeptical because he didn't have any offensive game. That came later on, even into his NBA career, where he really developed, that, what do you call it? We had an episode on Shaquille O'Neal. His special move was called the Black Tornado.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Basically, he just, offensive fouls you right in your chest and dunks over you. He had a little hook shot, and he developed he became a little bit, slightly better free throw shooter. But coming out of college, Shaq had his flaws, but the athleticism, the dominance was there already on display, and he was a blue chip.
Yes, literally, he was a blue chip. The movie Blue Chips. Yeah, that's a good grab there. Lucas, what about you? Were you alive when Shaq was playing at LSU? Okay,
no, I was born in '92.
All right, so tell us what stands out to you.
I think what stands out is Paul kind of touched on it earlier. It's just the fact that they didn't win. What was the deepest they got into the NCAA? It wasn't that deep, was it?
No, I think it might have been second round, if that.
And also, you got to remember at that time, the SEC, the powerhouse in that conference was Kentucky as well, right?
Was it at LSU?
LSU for college basketball.
Kentucky had a down period there.
Did they?
Where they were on on sanctions. Yeah.
Oh,
and then around there, and then Pitino came and resuscitated the program.
Right.
But that they might have been back while Shaquille was still there. I don't remember the exact years, but they did kind of have.
Well, the SEC wasn't known as a basketball conference back then either, so that I'm sure that contributed to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's it for my segment. We have Paul, the man with all the knowledge of Moses Malone. He wrote a biography and can't wait to read it. So, Paul, you ready for your debut on NBA Now and Then?
I'm ready, man. I've been dreaming about this moment for weeks now, ever since we talked about it. So I'm ready. I've never been more ready for anything in my life.
All right, look, the dream stuff, that's a little extreme, but we'll take it.
We'll take it there, Paul. But
We'll take it. All right, let's transition.
Now let's talk about the chairman of the boards, a.k.a. Big Mo. But before he got those nicknames, he was born Moses Eugene Malone on March 23rd, 1955 in Petersburg, Virginia. And I want to add a little something here that I found really interesting when Uriah was talking about how Shaquille got his name Little One, which of course is ironic. Moses' nickname from his mother was Teeny. And he was known
Oh, wow.
because he was
Stop it.
I swear he was a really skinny kid when he was like, a really skinny baby, and she called him Teeny, and that was his nickname in the neighborhood. People from the Heights in Petersburg will still refer to him as Teeny. So it's very funny that these two massive big men were known as Little One and Teeny back in the day.
Sweet.
Moses was raised by his mother, Mary Malone, who worked at Safeway as a cashier to support Moses after his father left the family when Moses was 2 years old. Growing up in a tough working-class neighborhood, Moses found refuge and purpose in basketball. According to Moses' friend and high school teammate, Ed Robinson, he was quoted in the Richmond Free Press article as saying, "Yeah, Mo was poor. We were all poor, but we didn't know it then." And I want to add something to that. First of all, I can't overstate how poor he was. I talked to a couple college coaches who recruited him, Dick Vitale being one of them. Dick Vitale was coaching at the University of Detroit then, and he recruited Mo to come to University of Detroit. And Vitale and another coach from VCU told me, they're like, Paul, we recruited all over the country. We recruited all over the South. That's what we did. And, we've seen all kinds of poverty, but we've never seen poverty like the Malones. It was next level. There was a hole in the bedroom, in Moses' bedroom, to the outside world. Like, there used to be a window there, but there's no window. There's just a hole. Like, plumbing was spotty. It was bad. It was really bad. Anyway, in references to Moses' personality, Robinson said, Mo was a fun-loving guy, a jokester, but he didn't say much. In fact, if you didn't see him, you didn't know he was around. And that too is kind of an understatement. Moses he was extremely quiet. He didn't look anybody in the eye, not family members, not close friends. He just kind of looked down at the ground. And it drove recruiters crazy because, recruiters try and engage with you. They want to talk to you and get to know you and want you to like them. And Moses just wouldn't talk. And I heard a lot of great stories about that. At just Moses, he was doing an interview with, he was having a meeting with NC State's assistant coach. His name was Eddie Biedenbach. And in the middle of the interview, Moses just got up and walked away. He didn't say anything. He didn't say, I'm done. And his mother just said, that's Moses. So he was extremely quiet. He didn't like talking about himself, I think was a big thing too. And that was really his personality. So I got a trivia question for you guys though. How tall do you think Moses was by 11th grade?
By 11th grade?
Yeah. So
I bet you he was short because the way that he rebounded tells me that he was a short guy that got taller because the way he's feisty about it. Yeah. I'm going to say he was only 6'2", 6'3".
All right. Maurice?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go 6'4".
Uriah?
I will, was it plead the fifth or recuse myself?
He already knows the answer.
I kind of wrote the script. Yeah.
Got it, right. He was 6'10". He was 6'10". Yeah.
Wow, so he was fully grown already.
Yeah. By his junior year, he was 6'10".
Wow.
So at Petersburg High School, Moses quickly stood out. He was so dominant that he led the team to back-to-back state championships and an incredible 50-game winning streak. Here's a quote from Carl Peel, who coached Moses in high school. Mo was thoughtful and hardworking. He ate and drank basketball. Early on, you could tell he wanted to play pro ball. He didn't say much about college. Mo was not much of a student. They pushed him through high school. There was no secret about that. They made sure he needed a C average to go to college, and they made sure he had that. I don't think he wasn't a stupid kid. He just wasn't interested. He just wasn't interested in school. He just wanted to play ball. But the playing pro ball is he said so. Moses made 2 predictions when he was 14 years old. He wrote in his family Bible. He wrote a note that said, "My junior year in high school, I'm going to be the best high school player in the country," and stuck that in the family Bible. And by his junior year, he arguably was, and so he felt it was time for another note. And so during his junior year, or at the end of his junior year, he wrote, "I'm going to be the first player to go straight from high school to pros," and put that in his Bible. And both were really preposterous predictions at the time. And when he told friends of his when he was younger that he was going to play pro ball, they thought he was crazy. But he believed it. He really believed it. And to his credit, he worked. Mo was a guy he didn't go to house parties. He didn't go to the clubs when all his friends were out. He was on the playground by himself, working on his game until 2, 3 in the morning in the dark. That he lived, breathed basketball. I think, going back to the poverty thing, I think he saw basketball as a possible way out. And he was like, I'm not going to let anything distract me from my journey, from this path out of this situation. And he just lived it.
Yeah.
So you guys want to hear how many points Moses scored in high school?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
According to the Richmond Free Press, Moses scored 2,124 career points at Petersburg High School, including 896 as a senior, while averaging 35.8 points per game.
Oof.
So I will add to that. So 35.8 points a game. He also averaged about 15 rebounds and about 12 blocks a game.
Whoa, wow.
12 blocks.
Yeah.
Oh
And when you consider that, the crazy thing about this, and this goes for Shaq's stats too.
They didn't hold up. They didn't even record blocks until.
It's this block's a little shady. It's not shady, but not official.
Right.
Yeah,
We'll put it that way.
That's fair.
It's it ranges from 11 to 12 different sources, but in that area.
Okay, I gotcha.
But it wasn't an official stat. But the remarkable thing to me about it, too, is, and this goes for Shaq's stats in high school, is that, first of all, high school games are 32 minutes long, right? Mm-hmm. It's not 48 like pros, not even 40 like college. It's only 32 minutes long. And as I noted, Moses' senior year, when he averaged 35.8 points a game, his team went 25-0. Most of those games were blowouts. Most of those games, he wasn't playing in the fourth quarter. Right. So he's scoring 35.5 points and 15 rebounds and 11, 12 blocks in, maybe 20, 25 minutes a night, which is even more crazy when you think about it.
Right. Sometimes he's taking more than a shot per 30 seconds and making it.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of them are probably offensive rebounds, tip-ins.
Yeah. And he also, I should say, he didn't play. Petersburg was not a basketball hotbed. He was playing it he's 6'10", and he was going against teams that had 6'3", 6'4" centers, and who weren't playing beyond the high school level, and it wasn't basketball territory. So I think that's a factor. That's fair. But the hype behind Moses was so high that his high school games during his senior year were played at Virginia State University instead of his high school gymnasium. In fact, the athletic director at his high school he set up scrimmages with some college teams because they were so far superior to all the high school teams in the area. Do you guys know which colleges heavily recruited Moses?
You mentioned two earlier, Detroit and VCU.
I tipped my hand a little on this one.
Yeah. So any others? They weren't. Those are Division I AA colleges. I'm trying to think of what other. Georgetown one. I don't know. Who else? I don't know.
Maurice, any ideas?
Maybe LSU.
So I said VCU, Detroit, University of Maryland, NC State.
Oh, you did say NC State.
And NC State was a big program. They won the national championship that year in '74 with David Thompson.
That's right.
And Clemson and New Mexico were also kind of front runners.
Mexico,
yeah, somewhat random. And many people don't know this, but Moses originally committed to the University of Maryland. Instead, he became the first high school player to jump straight to professional basketball. He actually, as the story goes, John Lucas, longtime NBA player and NBA coach, was would have been a teammate of Moses at Maryland. And on the first day of classes, what would have been Moses' freshman year, Lucas came and woke him up to go to class, and Moses said, "No, I'm going pro."
Boom! There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
Put his foot down.
He went to Maryland. I mean, it was Lefty Drizel was a very charismatic coach and kind of won him over. And it was a factor too that Maryland was only a couple hours from Petersburg, where he grew up. And so he went up to Maryland for the summer before his freshman year. Worked out there. Kind of intended to go there, and then the Utah Stars of the ABA flew in. They had drafted him in the spring for a number of reasons. It looked like nothing might not happen with that. Financial trouble with the team, financial trouble with the league, but they swooped in at the end of August and threw a whole lot of money at him, and he said, "All right, I'm going pro." Dude, the ABA stuff is crazy. I don't know if you guys ever read like the book Loose Balls or just, leaned into the ABA stuff. Some of the stories that came out of that league were really crazy.
Will Ferrell made a spoof movie on it. So.
Right.
Yeah.
But there was a ton of talent there. Including Moses and Dr. J, who was mentioned. I mean, there was a ton of talent.
So, Paul, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think Moses growing up in the poverty he did really pushed him to, go pro instead of going to college?
Yeah, I think so. I think, when Moses sold his house, when Moses signed his contract, he bought his mom a new house, and the old house was condemned. The city determined it was not livable. So I think he was highly motivated to make any money. I also think he just wasn't really cut out for college. And again,
you said that they pushed him through, right?
Yeah, in high school. I mean, again, again, it's not a reflection on his intelligence, because it's I think Moses is misunderstood in a number of ways, and one of it was that people believed he wasn't very intelligent, and those that knew him and played with him believed he was actually very intelligent. And you talk to people who knew him in high school, and they're like, no, he was smart. He just from an early age, he had a one-track mind that he was going to be a pro basketball player, and there was no plan B. So it was like, if I could do that now and get paid to do that now, what am I delaying it for? Let me get the money.
Yeah. So, Paul, you said something really interesting. You said that he's the first player in NBA history to go straight to the pros.
So he's called the first modern. There were a few guys who did it in the 40s, very early years of the league, and then it was done again till him in 74. And then, he was so successful. He was an all-star in his first year in the ABA. So a lot of people were like, oh, wait a minute. NBA teams, ABA teams started showing up at high school gyms looking for the next Moses. And the next year, 1975, they drafted Gerald Dawkins and Bill Willoughby, were two guys who were drafted straight out of high school. They were the next guys to do it.
Bill, you mean Walt Willoughby or Bellamy?
Not Walt Bellamy. Bill Willoughby, a different dude.
God, that is a tongue twister. Okay.
Yeah. And both of those guys were disappointments in different ways for different reasons. And Dawkins had a pretty good career, but was widely considered very immature. And so it didn't really happen again for another 20 years to Kevin Garnett.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
When he was ready, Moses Malone signed with the ABA's Utah Stars in 1974. He was just 19 years old.
They needed to get somebody with Julius. So he needed a little bit of help.
This is the man. And he was on a mission.
We need one guy who's going to be there for 38, 40 minutes a night.
And they got the right man at the right time. A fella by the name of Moses Malone.
comes Philly. Moses Malone drops it off to Doc, who sends it up and in.
Forced the shot, didn't get it. Irving has the field beat. Lets Wilkins slide by.
I'm thinking about Moses.
Double pump scores and he's fouled.
Bobby Jones will put it in play. Does to Malone. Moses, 2.
That's the same high lob play they used.
Fakes, hooks it off to Malone. He'll go up and power jam one. Moses Malone
Banks it home.
tough shot.
There's a great quote in Doc's autobiography where he says when the 76ers signed Moses in 1982, Doc said it was the first time he wasn't the best player on his team since he was a freshman in high school.
Wow.
Wow. Hey, if it came from Doc, then you know it's true.
Yeah.
Straight from.
So what do you guys think about Moses' upbringing and his high school career?
What stands out to me is the hole in the house.
Yeah.
Like the window that poverty. There's no wonder why he said, I have to do something to get my family out of this predicament. And it just shows you that he had to make a tough decision, despite what you told me in the interview a few weeks ago, Paul. People were upset at him because he was going to set a precedent of players not going to the big NCAA machine where they were relying on ad revenue and getting money from, sponsors. And if Moses started that, who knows in the future who else is going to follow him. Now, luckily that trend did not come to fruition, but the fact that he said, I'm going straight to the pros. I need to get out of the situation with my family. He did it, became a legend. And yeah, kudos to him for making that tough choice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the reason why I asked Paul that question, because a lot of times when we do the bios for these players, a lot of them at a young age have extra motivation. Now, for Moses and Shaq, their biological fathers weren't around for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And for Moses, I'm sure he wanted to be the provider for his family, get them out of the slums, if you will. And, that's all the motivation a lot of people need with the skill and God-given talent to, go into the league, go be one of the best players in the league and go from there. So,
yeah, look at going back to the poverty again. I mean, is interesting to hear that, a lot of the reasons why these kids go pro immediately or want to go pro immediately is because not so much that they don't care about college, is because they want to provide for their families as soon as possible, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
That it even was going on back then. But honestly, it shouldn't be that surprising.
Yeah, I always think it's interesting going to what you said, Maurice. You have people who grow up in that poverty but some people get swallowed up by it, and some people rise above it. And, there were a lot of other people in Moses' situation. Maybe they didn't have his basketball skills, but maybe they had another skill, or maybe they were very intelligent or whatever it is. And they got sidetracked, right? They got pulled off course. So there was a tremendous determination. I think even if Moses grew up with a lot of money, he would have been a determined guy, And I don't want to discount, discount the poverty. The poverty is a factor, but it's like a nature and nurture thing. I think it was a personality type he was born with, that he just kind of had that dog in him, and I think his situation also provided, some extra motivation and kind of a reason to focus his thoughts and his energy.
Yeah. Well, Paul, this seems like it's the end of your segment and you're going to be leaving us now, but I just want to thank you again for taking time out to spend time with us and our audience around the world. We've been downloaded in over 50 countries, and, we need to get the word out about Moses Malone. He's the forgotten center star of his era. And obviously Shaq, if you're being compared to Shaq, like, that's saying something, because Shaq is an all-time great player. So we wish you the best of luck with all your book sales. Hopefully you're going to be touring. Do you got any tours coming up? You doing anything?
I'm working on it. I have nothing set right now, but we're setting up the dates and the locations. So yeah.
Okay. Well, let us know what we can do to help, and thank you so much.
Thanks. Hey, guys, really, thank you so much for having me on. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful. And Lucas and Maurice, it was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Paul.
Always a pleasure, man.
All right. We are done with the bio section. Lucas, are you ready for your stats, sir?
Yeah, let's roll, man.
The Lakers lead that series 2-1. The ball under to Shaq. Slam dunk. The same thing. Lob under to Shaq. Slam dunk. Oh, he went up over the 7'6" Bradley. That had nothing to do with muscle. That had something to do with basketball. And
pass from Derek Fisher to Shaquille, the alley-oop up near the basket. Sean Bradley says, I can get there. Shaq said, you can't out-jump me. You can be taller than me.
He scored 6 points in this quarter.
Shaq. Harper. Followed home emphatically by Shaq. Ward gives it up to Kobe. 7 on the shot clock. Shaq.
Back here with his back, get contact and roll off for the dunk, and then the next time down the floor, Bob, you getting stopped this right here. Boom. He takes the contact. Kurt Thomas falls. No call, and then he about rips the basket down as Patrick Ewing fouls him and makes him shoot 2 free throws. You see the basket take.
Against Dudley. Nice.
Shaquille O'Neal was so powerful on that move that Dudley could not even foul him. He just got overpowered by Shaquille O'Neal.
But Dudley is now drawing with Shaq and threw the ball in his direction. Man, if you want to pick somebody to go with, you go right to the head of the class when you go after Shaq.
All right. Those were the highlights. Here are the numbers. Shaquille O'Neal weighs in at 325 pounds, according to Basketball Reference. He is 7'1". He is currently 53 years old, and he had a 19-year career in the NBA. He's worn only 4 different numbers. We all know the famous 32.
Mm-hmm.
What are the other numbers?
He wore 33.
Yeah, 33 definitely.
Which team did he wear 33 for? I'll give you a hint. He's played for Orlando. He's played for the Lakers, the Heat, the Suns, the Cavs, and the Boston Celtics.
Celtics. Was it 00? Did he wear 00?
He never wore double. They're all in the 30s.
Okay. Oh, 37. 37.
37? You say 37? Yeah. Okay. You guys are
34.
33. 32.
Right.
With the Magic and Heat.
Mm-hmm.
32 also with the Suns. 33 with the Cavaliers. 34 with the Lakers. And 36 with the Boston Celtics.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
But hey, you know what? I didn't realize that he wore that many different numbered jerseys. So, kudos there.
When we get to Moses, it's going to be a lot more.
Oh, I'm sure it is. But
yeah.
In the meantime, let's stay on Shaq here. And look, Shaq had a really long career, 19 years. So it's hard to choose just one season. But I'm going to go with the season that's most obvious. And Uriah, I'm going to steal your thunder here. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with the MVP season. We all know that he has one MVP. It's the 99-2000 season. So let's break it down, okay? In that season, he led the league in scoring with 29.7 points per game. He also averaged 13.6 rebounds.
Wow.
I should note that that season he averaged 4.3 offensive rebounds. That's going to be important going back to Moses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But he also averaged 3.8 assists. That's a lot. I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
He averaged 0.5 steals, 3 blocks per game.
Not surprising.
For the big Shaqtus. Great Aristotle.
The Diesel.
The big Diesel himself, yes. I love all the nicknames that he has.
Yeah. He's the best.
Mm-hmm. And I love that he comes up with him himself, and it works.
Yep.
For that season, he led the league, and I don't usually do this, but I'm doing this because he led the league in these stats. He led the league in field goals made at 12.1. He led the league in field goal percentage at 57.4%.
Yep.
Not like big men today who just catch lobs, and that's how they get so high field goal percentage.
True. Yeah.
He did attempt a 3, but apparently didn't make any. That's not surprising. We know that. Actually, I don't think he's made one single game. No, wait a second.
He made a 3?
He made it 1-3 at some point.
Shut the front door.
Hang on. Now I got to look. He's made 1-3 in Orlando. It was a 1-3 in Orlando. I remember this because it was a half-court shot.
Dude, I'm going to find that highlight. And
It is
drop
90. It was 94, 96. But again, anyway, that was his. But he didn't make it that season. He did not make it that season. I do want to point that out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He led the league in free throw attempts per game. We're not surprised by that at 10.4.
Not at all.
No.
Yep.
He had multiple seasons where he led the league in multiple different categories.
Okay.
That is not the only one. That being said, what are your biggest takeaways here?
I'll go first. First of all, I think Shaq has, not led the league, but from high school to college to the pros, I think Shaq is the only person to ever average the most free throws per game.
He did it
pretty
for,
sure.
hang on, I'm going to tell you how many seasons he did it. He led the league in foul shots per game 8 times.
And that's in the NBA.
In the NBA.
Hack-a-Shaq was a real thing.
Hack-a-Shaq was a real thing.
I mean, it was one of his weaknesses. I mean, that's
one of the very few.
Yeah, one of the very few weaknesses. Hey, just foul Shaq. Put a big in, foul Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is before some of the rules changed on that too. So you can't just go in there and just keep fouling the same person the whole quarter. So amazing stats. That was his MVP year. If you ask Shaq any moment of the day, he will tell you that he had a couple MVP seasons that they just didn't give it to him.
Yeah. I just want to add a few things. Number one, the free throw percentage was so low. Do you guys know why he had trouble shooting free throws? There's a physiological reason why.
I think he has keratoconus in his eyes, right?
No, well, he might. I don't see that in front of my notes.
Now.
No, it's more of an injury that he suffered when he was a kid.
Is it something to his foot? Because I've seen his feet.
Well, you don't use your foot to shoot free throws.
I mean, you have to balance. You have to balance.
Man.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's true. All right,
He
I'll
has
tell you the
NBA
answer.
feet. Just keep it at that.
Yeah, he so apparently when he was in his childhood, there was a wrist injury that he suffered. So when you see, and obviously his hands, I guess, are really huge. But yeah, I think he's on record saying that he had issues because of a wrist injury. But I just want to highlight the number of shots he took per game. And I think as his year progressed, by the time he got to LA in 99, he had already been in the league for 7-8 years. He had developed a lot of great post moves. And, you know, it wasn't just dunk the ball, because that's what people associate Shaq with. Turn, dunk, black tornado, like Maurice mentioned when Paul was here. By the way, Paul Nepper had to step out, everyone. He did his bio segment, and Ben is not here with us, unfortunately, so I'll be doing his segment. But back to Shaq, I was just really impressed as he became a champion along with Kobe, how he diversified his moves in the paint. Never a jump shooter, but still he was very effective.
He had a little
8 to 10
skinny hook.
feet.
He had a little bit of skinny hook.
It was like a jump hook, and he became adroit at that. And that's one thing that Shaq can always say. He always improved his game, even though he gets knocked because he didn't practice as much. But hey, Shaq had a lot going on outside of basketball. We all know that.
Yeah. His career stats, which seemed kind of low, but he probably played past his prime a little bit too long too.
Yeah.
Especially last 3 years. The last 2 years for sure. In 19 seasons, he averaged 23.7 points, 3.5 offensive rebounds, 10.9 total rebounds, 2.5 assists, 0.6 steals, 2.3 blocks, 2.7 turnovers, and 3.4 fouls, while shooting 58.2% from the field, 0.4% from the three-point line, and he made one 3-point shot out of all the shots that he shot there from his career, and he shot 52.7% from the foul line. So, any thoughts on his career awards there?
Yeah, his 3-point percentage equates to the, I think, IMDb score for War of the Worlds starring Ice Cube. I was just listening to a show about how poorly made or received that movie was. But no, all jokes aside, yeah, like you said, Lucas, 23 points per game for his career. Toward the end, that definitely tapped away from his overall scoring numbers. But still, when Shaq was in his prime, he was a double-double machine, just like Moses was. And it's just not surprising that all that field goal percentage dominance was part of his legacy. No one could stop him in the paint. There was, I know you guys know Brad Miller. He was being interviewed, and he was playing against Shaq, and he just was like, there's no way he's he's 300 pounds or like he just was like the strongest player he had ever played against. And Brad Miller is big.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Yeah.
If there wasn't already a big country out in the NBA, he probably would have gotten the nickname.
Yep.
When I did the clip, I wanted Uriah to play it until the Chris Dudley part, because that was an infamous moment where Shaq has overpowered somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that Dudley is not a small man either.
No, not at all.
No, and Shaq has overpowered him so much so he was frustrated, just threw the ball at him.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys feel bad for Dudley in that moment? Be honest. Did you feel bad, or was it comical to you guys?
I
didn't actually see the moment,
Both?
and when I heard Dudley, I went to Jared Dudley first, not the other Dudley.
Oh, okay.
It was a little bit before my time. Okay?
Yeah, that was before your time.
But the highlight is classic.
Yeah, the highlight is classic.
He dunked on him, pushed him, and they just ran.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Poor Dudley.
Yeah. And by the way, I gotta commend Shaq, because people think that it's because of his size, his longevity will be in question in the NBA. He played 19 seasons.
If Shaq actually took care of his body like Kobe said he should have, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much longer do you think he would have been dominant?
19
How many more
seasons is a long time. That's a long time.
Yeah.
What are you going to play till he's 26
I
years?
don't know. LeBron's doing 23 this year, right?
There's nobody like LeBron.
Yeah. So anyway, speaking of LeBron, LeBron's known for triple doubles. How many career triple doubles do you think that Shaq had? It's less than 10.
Triple doubles?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. I'll go first.
Two. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go. You said two?
I said two.
All right. I'll go 4.
Maurice, this is for you.
2.
What?
Wow,
Yep,
that
2.
That was a stab in the dark.
Good job.
So Shaq's best season in the playoffs is also his MVP season. We're going to go there too. In the playoffs that year, that he won his first Finals MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to say how many, but he's won more than one. He averaged 30.7 points per game, 5.2 offensive rebounds per game.
5.2.
15.4 total rebounds, 3.1 assists, 0.6 steals, and 2.4 blocks, while shooting 56.6% from the field. And from the foul line, he shot 45.6%.
You can really say that Shaq really was a playoff riser. When everything slows down in the playoffs, teams have a better opportunity defensively to stop you and pretty much, get the ball out of your hands. Shaq still dominated.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why he was a multi-time Finals MVP. So,
over under field goals attempted in a game, 35.
Over.
Is 40.
Wow.
Yep.
His career
We're
high
killing it. We're killing it, Maurice.
Yeah.
Field goals made was 24.
Yeah.
Now,
Lucas will balance it out when it's his turn again.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. In terms of foul shots shot in a single game, over under 30.
Foul shots? Oh, with the Hack-a-Shack, it's got to be over. Oh, no. He wants revenge from that little dinger I just shot.
Never.
I say even. It's
even? You
say
30.
Even?
Tie.
Yep.
You say tie. What about you, Maurice?
I'm going to go over.
You're right. This is for you.
Oh.
You overthought it, man. You overthought it.
I did overthink.
That's my revenge right there. You overthinking it. It was 31. It was 31. Now,
this is being very cerebral.
Yeah.
Now, foul shots made over under 15 in a single game. Foul shots made.
15? I can't see Shaq making more than 12 or 13. I'll go under.
You know what? Let's be positive. Let's give Shaq the benefit of the doubt, unlake the last episode.
I like your optimism.
Are you in the words of Dusty Garza, are you a jock sniffer, Maurice?
Whoa!
As the kids would say, I'm glazing. That's what the kids would say.
Oh, no, not that.
I never heard that before.
Okay. You have, wow.
No,
okay, that's the thing. That is totally a thing, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glazing.
So what is it, Lucas? What is it?
Okay.
Over.
Okay, well, Maurice's glazing paid off. It is 19. Okay, yeah, it's 19. Ye of little faith, Uriah. Ye of little faith.
Okay.
Over under offensive rebounds in a single game. 15.
15 offensive.
Oh, right now 15 is really high.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under.
Yeah, I'll go under.
You guys are right, but it's 14.
This is so impressive.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
That's basically
so now that you
14
know that he has 14 offensive rebounds in a single game, over under 25 for total rebounds.
I'll say over.
Over.
28.
Yeah. That's like Moses. That's like Moses territory, Lucas.
It is.
Offensive rebounds.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was offensive rebounds. 15,
yeah, offensive
right?
rebounds, yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay, yeah. Assist is 10. So he was able to get one triple-double with assists. Steals is 5. Career high in blocks. 10, over, under.
Well, obviously it's over if you say he had 2 triple doubles.
Yeah.
Or it could be even.
I'll go over. You know what? I'll go over.
I'm going to say even because he's trying to give us the answer.
Now, am I? I don't know, but you're wrong, Uriah. 2 for 2 on the it's 15 blocks in one game.
Not surprising.
Yeah, that's crazy.
15 blocks. I don't even think when we did the Rudy or Dikembe episode that they had that many.
Yeah.
This had to be Orlando.
Wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
Orlando. Shaq.
That was it was Orlando, his second season. But still, that's crazy. That being said, so what are your takeaways from these career highs?
Pure dominance.
Pure dominance?
I mean, there's no one like Shaq. And when we were figuring out the comparison for Shaq, we had to come up with another big who was simply dominant in the paint. And the closest we got was Moses Malone. And Moses is a great comp because no one really talks about him. You know, he's like one of those forgettable legends, if you will.
Yeah.
So that's why we did this episode.
So I guess what stood out to me, and that's a great point, the dominance is the perfect description of Shaquille O'Neal, whether he was in LA or whether he was in Orlando. But I think those offensive rebounds, and you know what, the offensive rebounds was surprising. 15 is astonishing. But the blocks, Lucas, that you got to remember, Shaq, especially in Orlando, was very nimble.
He was
and he could get off of his feet as quick as anybody. So it's not surprising that he could accumulate so many blocks in a single game.
Absolutely. That's fair. So you guys know when we have these special episodes, I go into the all-time stats for some of these guys. And Shaq, look, I'm going to have to cap it off. If he's not 25th or higher on this list, I cannot do it.
Okay.
That includes his points per game, which is at 31st all time. So points total, his career points at 28,596 is 11th all time.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Total rebounds at 13,099 is 16th all time.
Okay.
Total offensive rebounds at 4,209 is 7th all time.
Get out of town. Okay.
Whoa.
So he's up there with Moses. Okay.
Mm-hmm. His defensive rebounds total at 8,890 is 12th all time.
What about blocks?
Blocks. Career blocks with 2,732 is 9th all time. His blocks per game at 2.3 is 16th all time. His field goal percentage at 58.2% is 15th all time. What are your thoughts based off of those all-time stats?
When we get to Moses' segment for statistics, I'm going to be very in tune to, obviously, the interior play on defense, because whether it's rebounding or blocks, Moses was also a top defensive player during his era, and he was probably known as the best rebounder in the entire game. So for Shaq to follow in those footsteps, it's not surprising. And remember, Shaq was playing during a time when the big men were at a premium. You had David Robinson, Patrick Ewing. You had Kareem he was on his way out. But you definitely had some big men that could.
Well, they were near the end of their primes when he came in. He was up and coming when they were fading, and then he hit his prime when they were gone.
No, David Robinson. Olajuwon. They were still in their prime.
Ewing
they were still in their
both
prime.
Gone by 2001.
Olajuwon beat him in the finals.
Yeah,
he did.
Olajuwon
but that was back
taught
when
him a
Olajuwon
lesson.
was still in his prime.
Overall, all the statistics, historical stats, I think we all had Shaq in our Mount Rushmore. So for him to be top 10 in all those statistical stats for his career is not anything surprising. So dominance, sheer dominance. So I'm interested to see where does Moses stand up, especially in those historical stats.
Yeah. Well, let's get to Moses. I'm ready.
Let's get to
Okay.
Way up to Moses, driving on Lambier, bumps him with his behind, and he gets the offensive foul even though he made the shot. Pistons by 15 again, 6:40 left. Dr. J and Barkley to check back in for Philly. Green around Kelly, baseline right for a finger roll, doesn't fall. Moses with a follow. His putback goes. Cheeks, Julius Erving, Green, Malone, and Barkley. Against Isaiah, Dumars, Kelly, Lambier, and Curitin. Julius Erving with a bounce on a baseline to Malone. Malone with a gun. Got it from there.
Boy, that's a shot you'd want him to take, too.
123, 121. Julius inbounding to Cheeks. Gets it back. Team fouls. One on the Pistons. Philly with none. Malone gets it mid-post on the right. Squares up on Lambier. Sends it and scores it. Moses Malone has 36 points. Philly by 4.
All right, those are the highlights. Here are the numbers. Okay, Moses Malone was 60 years old when he passed away, RIP, in 2015.
Yes.
He was measured at 6'10", 215 pounds, so not nearly as large as Shaq, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
He played 21 years in the NBA. He played for a good handful of teams. We'll definitely talk about it, but he wore 8 different jersey numbers. I'm not going to expect you guys to know all that. For the Utah Stars, he wore 22. For the St. Louis Spirits, yes, ABA teams. Remember, according to Paul, he got drafted by the ABA out of high school. St. Louis Spirits, the next year, he wore number 13. They had orange jerseys, apparently, too. Go figure. His first NBA experience with the Buffalo Braves, now known as the Los Angeles Clippers. He wore 20. Then with the Houston Rockets, he wore 21. And then 24. And then with the Philadelphia 76ers, his first stint there, he wore number 2. He then wore, with the Bullets, he wore 2 different jerseys. Well, actually, no. They rebranded, but they were both number 4. And then with the Atlanta Hawks, he wore number 2. With the Milwaukee Bucks, he wore 8. And with the San Antonio Spurs, he wore 2.
Okay.
That's just a lot right there, man. Look,
he liked that number 2. That's what he's known for. That and 24.
Yeah.
2 was his best number.
Yeah.
Even though he had a lot of numbers, he had a lot of like elite seasons. And honestly, guys, this was even harder than to choose the Shaq one, to be completely honest.
Was it? Okay.
Well, he had, and I'm not going to say how many, but he had more than one MVP. So I can't just use that to help me disqualify it. But I'm going to go, and this is not Sixers homerism happening here, but I am going to go with his season with the Sixers, his first full season with the Sixers. Points per game, he averaged 24.5. For offensive rebounds, he averaged 5.7, leading the league.
Impressive.
Damn, 5.
Just think about that for a second. If he puts it back, that's 10 points. So that could be a difference in any game.
Total rebounds, 15.3. Assists, 1.3. Steals, 1.1. Blocks, 2. Turnovers, 3.2. And fouls, 2.6. He also shot 50.1% from the field. Attempted threes, did not make any that season. He shot 76% from the foul line. But I also want to note that he led the league in free throw shots made and foul shots attempted per game. Made 7.7, attempted 10.1.
Wow. Okay.
So, thoughts on that MVP season? Honestly, you could argue the season before was even better. And I'm not going to knock you on that, but I think defensively he was a little bit more well-balanced that season.
So free throws made per game, that is not surprising because Moses had a nice shooting touch.
Yeah, he shot 76% from the field that year.
And if there was a distinction between these two players, it would be the foul shooting. But the offensive rebounds, like Maurice was saying, that makes a difference in the game. You're taking 5 possessions away from the other team. And because he was so, I guess, gifted around the rim, he's going to make that shot. He's either lay it up or dunk it. So, yeah, I think the free throw percentage and the rebounds, offensive.
You can easily say, based off those free throw numbers, attempts made and all that, and fouls, that he was the Shaq of that era, where it came to low post dominance, and you just have to foul him or just give up 2 points.
All right, so I'm going to tell you guys, like with Shaq, what areas he led the league in for multiple seasons, okay?
Okay.
Minutes per game, twice. Foul shots made per game, 3 times. Foul shots attempted per game, 5 times. Offensive rebounds. Even in his rookie season in the ABA, he averaged 5.5. Total defensive rebounds, he did it 3 times. Total rebounds, he did it 6 times. Never led the league in scoring, though.
Yeah. There were a lot of good scorers. There were a lot of good scorers in the league.
He did average, one season, he did average 31 points per game, which is higher than Shaq ever did. And there was not a player that beat it until, I'm pulling a Ben here because Ben's not with us. Joel Embiid was the most recent big man that averaged over 31 points per game.
Before the dominance of the big men of the late 80s and 90s, this was still a good era of big men. From Kareem to Wes Unseld, Artis Gilmore, Ralph Sampson. These were some really good big, and they didn't have as many teams as they do now.
Dan
Issel, yeah, another one. A lot of good bigs at that time. And those are big bigs. They weren't small. And Moses probably was the smallest out of all of them. But maybe Wes Unseld.
Yeah, Wes Unseld, yeah.
Unseld was like 6'9", I think, something like that.
But Unseld was already past his prime because of injuries when Moses came in, because Wes Unseld started in the late 60s. Alvin Hayes was a power forward, but yes.
Yeah. So
they had some good, Walt Bellamy.
Yes. So that was the era before the Renaissance, if you will, big man. But he still dominated, and you could easily make the case he was the best big man of that era.
All I have to say is Maurice nailed it. You think about the competition that Moses was going against, guys that were 3, 4, 5, 6 inches taller than him, but he was still able to secure rebounds better than anyone, in my opinion. And I don't know if you mentioned Nate Thurman, Maurice. Nate Thurman was a monster on the glass too. But yeah, I think that era, because not a lot of people saw basketball in the 70s, I think that's, to your point, Lucas, like that forgettable aspect of Moses' career. And that's exactly why we're talking about him right now.
Let's get to the career stats. Now, he played for 21 years, 2 more years than Shaq. You know what I say? I always do. You know when somebody leads the NBA in all, like, number one in a statistical category? Well, no surprise here. Moses is number 1 in offensive rebounds all time at 5.1. Now, you can make the argument, what about Wilt and Bill? True, but they didn't record those back then, so we can't really know.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
And Wilt was, 4 inches taller, right, Lucas?
Yeah. But Bill was actually an inch shorter.
He was.
Yeah. Despite having a longer post-prime career than Shaq did, Moses averaged 20.3 points, 5.1 offensive rebounds, 12.3 total rebounds, 1.3 assists, 0.8 steals, 1.3 blocks, while shooting 49.5% from the field, 9.6% from the three-point line. So he made a 3 or 2 as well. And from the foul line, he shot 76%. And I would suspect in terms of boxing out, Shaq probably didn't have to box out all that much. Versus Moses being undersized, he would probably have to
he was a better boxer outer, if you will.
Yeah. Like with Shaq, we're going to go to the playoffs here. We're going to go with the 82-83 season as well. In that playoffs, he averaged 26 points, 15.8 total rebounds, 1.5 assists, 1.5 steals, 1.9 blocks, 3.1 turnovers, and 3.1 fouls while shooting 53.6% from the field and 71.7% from the foul line. Now, impressive stats.
I got one word for you. Workhorse. That's what Moses Malone was. Everybody who's ever played with Moses says he was the strongest. And then that's the comparison to Shaq, because everybody says Shaq is obviously the strongest of them.
I would like to know if somebody played against both of. Oh, wait a second, we do, and I wonder if he's going to pop up on any of our sound bites. Charles Barkley. He played with Moses and played against Shaq.
Yes.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Now, someone who played with both.
That would be hard to come by.
I'm sure it's not impossible, but that's another time for another time. Shaq had a game high of 61 points. Moses Malone, over, under, or tied for Shaq's career high of 61 points.
It's got to be under. No, Moses never scored 60.
Yeah, I would say under. I agree with that.
Okay, yes, it is under. It is 53.
Okay.
Still really impressive.
Still good. Yeah.
Yeah, still good.
Yeah. Field goals attempted was 35, which is lower than Shaq's 2. Career high in 2-pointers attempted. 2-pointers made was 20, and same thing with the attempted. So let's get to foul shots. Foul shots. Over, under. 20 foul shots made in a single game.
20 free throws. I'll say over.
You say over?
Yeah.
I'll go under.
Okay. Uriah, this is for you.
Yay.
Okay.
21. So over, under, career high, 35 total rebounds.
35. That's high. I can't imagine anybody getting that many. I'm going to say under.
Maurice?
I'm going to go over.
Maurice, this is for you.
Shut up. Good
37.
Wow.
37.
Yeah.
Does it say which year?
Yeah, hang on. Give me a second here.
I don't think Shaq touched that. Shaq can't touch 37.
No.
He had 37 in the 78-79 season with Houston.
Ooh, man.
That's crazy.
Okay, so assists is 7, steals is 5, blocks is 9, turnovers 13. I think we need to talk about the elephant in the room with 37. Is that like the most? And it's not. It's not the most because Will and Bill had higher, but
Absolutely.
still,
Yeah.
that is crazy.
That would make an opposing center like say, "Hey, coach, can you please sit me down? Like I need a breather, coach."
Yeah, I mean, Moses was always known for having good cardio, even for his size.
Yeah.
Now,
That's athleticism and cardio right there.
Now, let me ask you guys, because I haven't seen too many highlights of Moses. Did he have a mid-range elbow?
He did.
And was he like laterally versatile? Like, could he move his feet?
He can move. He was pretty nimble, especially in Houston.
I promise you, if any team tried to play small ball against him in today's game,
right,
putting up similar numbers.
Yes.
I would say he's a little more mobile than Shaq. I think he has a little bit more moves. I think his dribbling was a tad bit better than Shaq, but still, Shaq. I think if they played head to head, think about this. If they played head to head, I think Shaq would probably.
Well,
have his way.
They did play.
They played 3 times their career, and that was toward the end of Moses' career. So his numbers were like diminutive compared to Shaq's when they went against each other.
All right, that's fair. So, any other notes besides the 37 rebounds? Holy moly!
Nah. I think we've covered the gamut for Moses. We've shown him mad respect for every aspect of his game. So yeah, I just overall he was the man in the paint in the 70s and 80s.
I'm gonna have to try to find that clip of those rebounds with the Rockets.
So, you guys ready for the career stats now? Hold up. Did I do career highs for Shaq in the playoffs?
Yes.
Okay, well, it seems only fair, right? Okay, so 42 points, the important ones, 15 offensive rebounds, 32 rebounds in a playoff game. 32 rebounds in a playoff game, folks. Come on now. 6 assists, 6 steals, 6 blocks, 10 turnovers. That's just, I can't. This is just, these are ungodly numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just automatically label Kareem as the best. And like Kareem put up some gaudy numbers too. We did an episode on Kareem. We're not disrespecting Kareem when we say this, I don't think.
Check out that episode on Patreon.
Yes.
Yeah. Kareem
and Bill Russell.
Kareem was about sustained dominance, and Kareem had longevity.
He had longevity than Moses, but oh my goodness, the numbers though. Whew. At the peak, I don't know.
If Moses put up those numbers for a good 10-year stretch, he would have been the best big man of all time.
I mean, he put it up for a good 6 to 8 year stretch.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So anyway, let's talk about the overall numbers. Now let's get to career stats here, the important ones here. So let's talk about points per game. Same thing with Shaq. If it's not in the top 25, I'm not mentioning it. Career points, 29,580, 10th all time. Rebounds, total rebounds, with 17,834, third all time.
Oh.
Rebounds per game at 12.3, 15th all time.
Respect.
Offensive rebounds total with a total of 7,382. You guys want to guess where he ranks all time?
Offensive rebounds, I'm going to say second.
Third.
Number one.
Number one.
Oh.
He was number one, Mr. Krabs.
There we go.
Total defensive rebounds, 10,452. He is sixth all time.
Mm-hmm.
So just in rebounds and points alone, I'm going to pause there because there's more, but I'm going to pause there. What are our reactions here?
I'll go first, and pretty much first in offensive rebounds, 6th, and defensive rebounds, 3rd all time. And obviously 1 and 2 are Wilt and Bill Russell. Is he one of the greatest rebounders of all time, if not the best rebounder of all time?
I would say in the modern, I would say obviously he's the best offensive rebounder. That's easy, right?
Yeah. Andre Drummond would disagree.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman would probably disagree too.
Yeah.
I would say that he's definitely on the Mount Rushmore of rebounders.
Yeah, clearly.
Definitely the best offensive rebounder. I'm not gonna go out on a limb and say the other ones for sure yet, just because I'm not gonna do that on this episode because we don't make hot takes on this episode.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me on the longest segment of stats ever. I'm going to pass the ball back to Uriah so he can do accolades.
All right. Let's do it.
I'd love to thank these wonderful gentlemen for bringing me in. The Hall of Fame committee asked me to choose one, but as all the coaches know that have coached me, I'm not good with listening to rules. So I picked 4. These 4 have done so much for me. Lonzo Mourning, arch nemesis turned great friend. We both entered the league together in 1992, had fierce battles together. He dunked on me, I dunked on him. Then in 2006, we joined forces together to win his first and my 4th title for the Miami Heat. Thank you, Zoe. Couldn't have done it without you. Isaiah Thomas was a man who pulled me aside one day at an All-Star game and explained to me how a team leader was supposed to carry himself. We now work together. We're friends. He's a business mentor. Thank you very much, Mr. Isaiah. Bill Russell, give it up to the greatest big man to ever play the game.
So I'm filling in for Ben right now. Hopefully I can do this segment justice. Shaquille O'Neal. That was him at his Hall of Fame ceremony. Interesting that he had Isaiah Thomas there. I was surprised by that, but not surprised because 2-time NBA champion, great ambassador for the league. Shaquille O'Neal, did he win Rookie of the Year in 1993? What do we think?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. That was a no-brainer. That is correct. Does anybody know any of the other candidates for Rookie of the Year that season?
I have no idea.
Well, he mentioned Alonzo Mourning.
Was he drafted the same time?
Yeah, he just said in the clip he came out the same year.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you're right. So Alonzo had to be it.
All right, so Alonzo Mourning's 1. Any other guesses? Maurice, you might know some of these.
92 draft. So we're talking...
I wasn't even born yet, guys.
Was it Christian Laettner?
Christian Laettner also was in the running. Who else?
Yeah, he coming off the Dream Team.
I'll be surprised if you get these other 2.
Ooh, 92.
Were they lottery picks?
Yes, they were. Well, they were first rounders. I'll just tell you, it was LaFonso Ellis and Tom Gugliotta.
Ooh,
Those
Tom
are
Pugliani.
unique names.
Yes, they are.
Where's
Yes,
Tom
they are.
Pugliani? He came from LaSalle, right?
I couldn't tell you. I know he had he had a good career for the
Someone
Washington
in Philly.
Bullets. Yeah. So he was all NBA first team 8 times.
Oh, how many times total?
How many total all NBAs did he get? I'll give you over under 12, including second team.
I think it's 11.
11? So under. You're saying under 12?
Oh, yeah, under 12.
Over under 12?
I'm going to say exactly 12.
All right, you are both incorrect. Shaquille O'Neal was all NBA 14 times.
Wow.
Yeah, insane, right? How many times was he all defensive team?
Oh, okay. This is
total.
On Prime Shaq. I'm going to say 6 times.
All right.
I'm just going to say 6 too.
You can say 6. Go ahead.
Yeah, 6.
All right. Answer was 3 times.
Really?
You would think
That's
it'd be
it?
more. Yeah, you would think it'd be more.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
You're blocking shots like that. You should be at more than 3.
Yeah.
Maybe they held the weight thing against him, I guess. I don't know.
No.
I don't know. Well, remember, you
yeah.
had Dikembe, you had Alonzo, you had David Robinson, you had Patrick Ewing,
Ben Wallace.
Elijah
Wallace. Yeah. How many MVP awards did Shaq get? Not how many was he supposed to get. He got how many?
Just 1.
All right.
Yeah,
Lucas says 1. Okay, you guys
1.
are correct. And Finals MVP, I think Lucas mentioned something earlier. Over under Finals MVP, over under 3.
It's equal to.
It's this story, yeah.
Darn. I was trying to trick you.
Come on. I was alive during this. Come
yes,
on.
You were. Okay. All right. Last accolade for Shaq that I'll go over with you is All-Star appearances. How many times was he an All-Star? I'll give you an over-under 16.
I think it's over. I think he got 17.
All right, Maurice?
I don't think Shaq missed an All-Star game.
He missed 3.
So
Actually, no, it is 16. It is 16.
Yeah, it's 16. Yeah. Yeah. Because he was a rookie. He went to All-Star game his rookie year. So
you said
he
over.
missed one in LA because of injury. And then he missed the last 2 seasons.
Wow.
And then he missed one with Phoenix. So it's actually 15. My bad.
I'm going to stick with 16.
Okay, good
15.
Redemption, Lucas, because I was about to buzz you. I was about to buzz you.
Give me that,
you to West Virginia. Good job.
There we go.
Yep, Shaq was a 15-time All-Star, 4-time NBA champion. He had 3 with the Lakers, 1 with Miami. Decorated player, all well-deserved. We're not here to debate if he should have gotten it over Steve Nash. We're just giving props for what he did earn. So I'll go with Lucas first. What stands out to you about Shaquille O'Neal's awards?
That he didn't have more all defensive teams, I guess.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Yeah.
I mean, tough competition.
Especially like young Shaq in Orlando. Like that's when I think of him as being like a defensive force. Not too much of LA Shaq because, you associate LA Shaq as being out of shape.
Yeah.
But apparently not.
Yeah.
Well, just sheer dominance, especially the young Shaq. And by the way, did he win an Olympic gold medal?
I was going to mention that, but I'm glad you did. He did win an Olympic gold medal with the 1996.
Yeah, 16.
I was going to say Dream Team, but Christian Laettner took that spot in the 92 Dream Team. So,
which is crazy.
Well, technically, Shaq admits that Christian Laettner was a better college player than him. So I believe he said that. You've heard that before, Maurice, right?
I heard something like that to that
yeah.
fact, yes.
Yeah.
But just imagine if Shaq was on that team.
I know,
goodness.
that would have been nuts.
Oh, my
that would have been absolutely nuts. So
would he have played that much?
Probably not, but
probably not.
Yeah,
probably not.
Who cares?
Yeah, because you had Ewing and
Yeah,
Robinson on that team. Shaq.
Who's the third? They had a third. You always have a third center. Who's the third guy?
Not that
or do they like rely on who's the other power forwards besides Barkley?
Karl Malone.
They probably relied on Malone as like the quote unquote third emergency center if they needed.
Yeah, probably. So
yeah.
So I'm done talking about Shaq's accolades. Now I'm going to switch over and we're going to talk about Moses Malone's accolades.
Moses Malone, your dominating long career and statistics speak adequately for themselves. You played the game with great enthusiasm, and tonight you formally join an elite club of dominant centers of all time. By vote of the Honors Committee, by the power vested in the Board of Trustees, it's a privilege to induct you as a player into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame with all rights and privileges. Congratulations.
So Moses Malone, he is an NBA Hall of Fame player. He is an NBA champion with the 76ers. How many first-team All-NBA teams did Moses Malone make? Over or under 3?
All first team?
Yeah, first team.
Ooh. I'm going to say, because they only did one center back then.
That's tough.
I'm going to say under.
Okay.
I'm going to say exactly 3.
So the actual answer is he was 4-time All-NBA first team. So like I did with Shaq, how many total All-NBA teams did Moses win, including NBA All-NBA second team? Over under 8 times.
Oh. Over.
Over? Okay, that was a trick question. He had
8?
Exactly 8.
Oh.
8
the
All-NBA.
one time I don't say equal to.
So Shaq had more total All-NBA nods compared to Moses, but still 8 All-NBAs between Houston and the Sixers is still pretty impressive.
Well, and we talked about it. Moses was, in between 2 eras of big men. Started out with Kareem, ended with the Robinson and Ewing era. Right. So it's not that surprising.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and back then he had 1 and then 2 All-NBA teams. Now they got 3, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, that's a good point.
I didn't realize that. When did they add a third one?
I think the 80s or 90s? Either late 80s or early 90s.
Probably.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, by 91 or 92, he had that bad injury that Paul was talking about, and I'm sure that's probably why.
Yeah. Okay. And he has 1 Finals MVP playing alongside Dr. J and Maurice Cheeks. As far as All-Stars, this is where it gets interesting. Shaquille O'Neal had 15. Did Moses Malone have less, more, or equal to the number of All-Star appearances than Shaq?
Are we counting ABA?
That's a good question. I'll just tell you, he had 13 All-Star appearances. He had 13, whether it's all ABA or NBA combined. I don't think it matters just because ABA had great players as well. So how many all-defensive teams did Moses Malone earn during his career? Just take a guess. No over-under.
I'm going to say 5.
3.
Okay. Maurice was the closest, but you were wrong. He had 2.
Really?
Yeah, he had 2.
I guess they kind of docked him on the size. I thought the rebounding would have helped him, but okay.
Yeah, that's what I would think too, but no, he only had 2. All right, so what stands out to you guys about those accolades from Moses Malone? I'll go with Maurice first this time.
So even with the tail end of his run with the Sixers, Moses is still one of the best centers in the game.
Yes.
I think we kind of forget that because that's after winning a championship.
Mm-hmm.
But even with his time with Washington, going into the 90s where he finally fell off career-wise, he was still very dominant. So the comparison of the best center of that era between him and Kareem is a good debate to have on another platform, not here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, we got to stay on brand, like Lucas likes to say, stay on brand. What about you, Lucas?
I honestly would have thought more all NBAs, to be honest, I guess. I don't know. Kind of shocked me there.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. And I distinctly recall Moses Malone when he was brought to Philadelphia. The knock on Dr. J was that he could not get the team over the hump. They blew that series lead against the Portland Trailblazers in the 70s. Moses was trying to do his thing in Houston, and he couldn't necessarily get the job done there. But when he came to Philly and he teamed up with Dr. J, and they had Billy Cunningham, Hall of Fame coach, former Sixer, everything came together. And ironically, Maurice, you probably remember this. Matter of fact, your name comes from Maurice Cheeks' teammate. Yes. It was the biggest sigh of relief, I think, the Philadelphia sports fandom had ever experienced up to that point. Of course, the Eagles, it was a big exhale for them in 2017. But up to that point, if it were not for Moses, I think the Sixers would probably still be devoid of a championship. But I have one question before I move on to Maurice with the teammates. The question is, who were the other 4 candidates in the top 5 for MVP voting in 1983? Even though Lucas wasn't born yet, you still might be able to
I
know
should
this.
be able to get most of these.
Yeah. So why don't we alternate? Lucas does one, and then Maurice does one, and we go back and forth. So you pick one more, Lucas.
Larry.
All right, Larry's 1.
Magic Johnson.
That's 2. Who are the other 2?
Dr. J.
Very good.
Ooh.
I'll give you a hint. You actually said this player as part of another trivia from a previous episode. Milwaukee Bucks.
Sidney Moncrief?
Yes. Very good. You guys are awesome, man. Good job.
Oh, that was it. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, those were the top 5.
Kareem?
No.
Okay.
Kareem was 10th in MVP voting that season, followed by George Gervin, Artis Gilmore, Buck Williams, Alex English. Dr. J was 5th, Sidney Moncrief 4th. We got to do a comp for Sidney Moncrief because he was an outstanding player.
Didn't you say that you wanted to do it Ray Allen?
Not for Sidney Moncrief.
Okay.
No. So
Sidney Moncrief could score and he played defense.
Yeah, he was a great defender. So, all right, I am done, Maurice. Are you ready to receive the ball in the post and go to town?
I've got my man blocked out. I'm ready for the lob up top to do my post move, which is a black tornado like Shaq.
And it's going to go like this. Here you go. Maurice is doing all this movement. Meanwhile, we're not even video. But it's all good. All right, let's move on.
What we haven't talked about is how good of a player he was. Most dominant player I've ever seen. And the thing that was most impressive to me is that he's such a fun, outgoing guy. Loves to tell jokes, loves to have fun with his teammates, practical jokes. But before the tip-off, something happens. The switch goes off of him. He's no longer joking around. He's no longer playing around. He's not smiling anymore. He's out there and he's trying to dominate. And I remember the playoff series against San Antonio. We were going into the arena, and he and I would sit against each other in the back of the bus. And he leans over to me and he goes, "Bring it to me early tonight. Bring it to me early." I'm looking at him like, "All right, what's going on?" He said, "When I was a kid, David Robinson wasn't very nice to me." I said, "Say no more. This series is in the bag, man." That's it. But I just want to say thank you. I've learned so much from you as a player. And everything that you've done for the city, everything you've done for this franchise, and your kids, you guys should know your dad was a bad man. He's a bad man. Congratulations, and much love to you, my brother.
That was obviously Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace, Black Mamba. It was nice to see that they, resolved their issues.
Yeah.
Towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to Shaq. Let's talk about some of his teammates. Picked with the number 1 pick in the 92 NBA draft by the Orlando Magic. Let's get into his first season with the Orlando Magic, 92-93. Their record that first season was 41-41. Their coach was Matt Gugas. Let's get into some of his teammates. The first one, I think Uriah knows who this is because he was infamous for something. Nick Anderson.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man, poor Nick. I still feel for that guy. But he was a great, he was a good player.
Is there a more maligned player, and I just thought of one, the J.R. Smith Cavs, 2018?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Because of the meme.
Yeah, the meme is better, but 4 free throws. Yeah. I mean, I felt so bad for him.
I felt
so bad for him.
Yeah.
Shout out Nick Anderson, man.
Or Ben Simmons in the no dunk.
That was the finals, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the finals. That's fair.
Yeah.
A name that I didn't remember played with Shaq, but he was on his team, Steve Kerr.
He was?
He was on the Magic?
Yes, 92-93 Magic.
Nah.
I didn't know that.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I got to look up that picture on that.
Yeah. 3D, Dennis Scott.
Okay, knew that one.
Yeah. Georgia Tech. Scott Skiles.
Did anybody actually like Scott Skiles? Because, I know nobody liked him as a head coach.
I think as a player, he was
He was a good
fine.
player, though.
Yeah.
I think he had the
I know
record for
he got
most
the
assists
30
in a game.
assisted. Yeah, I was about to
Yeah.
say 30 assists in a single game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, he
saying,
was
TJ
good.
McConnell could do that if he was allowed to.
Yeah. That was most of his notable teammates his rookie season were the Orlando Magic. Obviously, the next season they drafted Penny Hardaway, who was kind of like his Kobe before Kobe.
Yep.
And, we've highlighted Penny on our episode with SGA, tremendous player on his own. So
yeah,
that Shaq and Penny team, that duo could have won multiple championships if they would have stayed together.
Absolutely.
And if Penny would have stayed healthy for the most part.
Absolutely.
So let's move on to the 1999-2000 Lakers. They won the NBA championship, obviously. Do you guys know how many games they won that season? I'm going to give you an over-under. 68.
Ooh.
They won 69 games.
Lucas sounds very confident with that, so I'm going to go opposite and say less.
You might be right. I don't know.
And you know what? Uriah is right.
I learned from Lucas sometimes when he answers too quickly and doesn't go through his Lucas logic moment. I gotta go
Lucas Logic. I like that we need to brand
yes,
that Lucas Logic.
Hey, let's put on a t-shirt.
67. They won 67, lost 15. Their coach was Phil Jackson. Their executive, once again, we always talk about him, Jerry West.
Jerry West.
Shout out Jerry West. One of the MVPs of the NBA Now and Then podcast, because we always talk about him.
Every time it feels like, yeah.
Yeah. Some of his teammates were obviously Kobe Bryant, Derek Fisher, Rick Fox, a name that he was around for so long, AC Green.
Yeah.
Really?
The original Iron Man, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ron Harper, Robert Ory, Tyrone Lue.
Ty Lue.
Yeah. Glenn Rice was on this team.
Yep.
John Sally was on this team.
Yep.
And Brian Shaw.
Yep.
Really good team. Really good Lakers team. They had a lot of depth. Robert Ory. Travis Knight was the backup center with John Sally.
I don't know who Travis Knight is.
Yeah. He's a good role player. Not even good, just a role player. But anyway, let me ask the question I always ask. Who won the most games with Shaq as a teammate?
With the Lakers or up to this point or all time?
All time.
Oh, then Kobe.
Yes.
No.
Oh.
Nah. He's trying to trick us. It's Derek Fisher.
You're right.
Derek Fisher. It's either Kobe or Derek. But, well, Shaq got there the same time as Kobe. And
Was Derek already there?
Derek Fisher was drafted with Kobe.
Okay.
So, but Shaq left. So, wow, this is tough. I'm going to say Derek Fisher.
I'm going to say Derek Fisher as well.
Yeah.
Lucas, Uriah, you should have went the other way. Both of you.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It wasn't too obvious. You just overdunked it. It was Kobe.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, look, Derek Fisher.
They were drafted the same year.
But I think
it
would come down to like injuries, I would think.
Yeah, and I just figured that Derek Fisher was healthier than Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe was healthier than Derek Fisher.
Oh.
Yeah. Kobe, they won 412 games together with Kobe. Okay. Derek Fisher with Shaq as a teammate won 403.
Okay.
So it was only 9 games off.
9 games off, okay.
9 games. I don't feel bad about that one.
No.
Still got wrong, though.
Yeah.
And third, by the way, was Rick Fox.
That's not surprising.
And, of course, Robert Ory was fourth. Robert Ory, Big Shot Bob.
Well, who's the first Orlando Magic player on that list? That's what I want to know.
Actually, it was Brian Shaw. Because they played together with the Lakers and Magic.
Right. Yeah.
That's a good point, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on to the 05-06 Miami Heat. Once again, NBA champions. Their record that season was 52-30. Who was the coaches on that team? Don't overthink it.
On the Miami Heat?
Yes.
Oh, it's Pat Riley.
Stan Van Gundy, then Pat.
Yes, Van Gundy got fired, I think, right?
Yeah.
Mid-season.
There you go, Lucas.
That was they did him dirty. That's a shame. I felt
bad.
Well, he got his redemption in Orlando.
Yeah, but he didn't win a championship.
Yeah, he didn't win a championship.
He got close.
Yeah.
Fair enough. He coached from one big to another big. So the Heat championship team, some of his teammates were.
I know all these guys.
All right, so give me some names then, Lucas. Go ahead.
Okay, Antoine
Put you on the
Walker,
spot.
Udonis Haslem.
Okay, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Jason Williams, Gary Payton, James Posey. Hang on, who am I missing here? Dwayne Wade, obviously. Alonzo Mourning. Oh, Michael Doliak. Yeah, I remember Michael Doliak.
Good grab.
Michael Doliak, according to Shaq, gave him the business during practice because all Michael did was shoot threes on Shaq.
And Shaq didn't want to come out and defend that.
No, he didn't.
No way he wanted to go.
I feel like there's one other player that I'm missing.
So let me give you some names.
Yeah.
Derek Anderson. Okay. Shannon Anderson. Jason Capono.
Oh, Jason Capono was on that team, yeah.
You said, James, you said Gary Payton, James Posey, Antoine Walker.
Yeah, I said Antoine.
Oh, you did? Darrell Wright.
Darrell Wright was on that team, yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for the notable names. This is probably Shaq's last great prime year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when D-Wade came along and just dominated in the finals against Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks. So
there we go.
All right, so real quick, I do want to highlight, before I ask you guys a question, I'm going to highlight his last season, the 2001, 2010, 2011 Boston Celtics, 56-26. Their coach was Doc Rivers, executive Danny Ainge. Some of his teammates were Ray Allen, Carlos Arroyo, Avery Bradley, Big Baby Glenn Davis,
Glenn Big Baby Davis.
Yeah. Kevin Garnett, Jeff Green.
Uncle Jeff.
Yeah, he's still in the league, too.
Yep.
Jermaine O'Neal, Kendrick Perkins, Paul Pierce.
Hang on, I should note, I need to note something. Kendrick was traded for Jeff Green.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Kendrick was traded for Jeff Green.
Okay. Paul Pierce, Nate Robinson, Rajon Rondo.
I think Nate was also an in-season addition as well, but I can't remember who they traded for him.
Yeah. That was a really good Celtics team. They lost in the Eastern Conference Finals to the Heat.
So Shaq got injured the second game of their playoff run, tore his Achilles, I think, and Danny was willing to wait for him to come back, but Shaq was like, no, this is a sign that I'm done.
Can I give you my quick Doc Rivers impression of being Shaq's coach?
Oh,
Shaq!
No.
Shaq! What are you doing, Shaq? Stop breakdancing in the locker room, Shaq. Come on, Shaq. Put down the hot dogs.
Can I mention Shaq's most infamous teammate? Well, the teammate that he did not get along with at all, and it's not a team that you mentioned here.
Is it Amundsen?
The Lou Amundsen, yeah.
Yeah, that was
my gosh. The amount of crazy. Yeah, I'm just like, dude.
I don't know if I'd want to be Shaq's teammate during his heyday.
I would never want to be Shaq's teammate.
No, Shaq did some pretty brutal pranks.
We're not going to say what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we'll tell you afterwards, Maurice.
Yeah. Okay. So, throughout Shaq's career, which teammate stands out the most throughout his career?
All right, Lucas, on the count of three, let's say, Lucas, ready? 1, 2, 3. Kobe Bryant. Yep. It's got to be Kobe. No.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you know what? If you take Kobe, I'll take someone else, Lucas.
I mean,
go ahead and elaborate on Kobe.
How about we say Kobe's number one? Let's go to the number two, okay?
Okay. It's got to be Penny.
You can say Penny. I'm going to say I'm going to say D Wade. I'm going to say D Wade.
All right. Let me elaborate on Penny because I've been waiting.
We're talking about 3 Hall of Fame. So
yeah, I know, right? I know. I mean, Kobe, obviously. I mean, you can't go with anyone else. But I think I remember in the 90s, one of my first NBA jerseys that I would wear to high school, and I would walk through the doors nice and proud because, the number 1 with the pinstripe black. Penny Hardaway was such a special player. I still recall how special he was whenever he came on NBC on Sundays or whenever he was on TNT or whenever he played. Shaq was that dude. He was the number 1 guy on that team. But Penny was, you just love to watch him because you never knew when he'd do a behind the back pass to Shaq or when he'd do, you guys have seen a highlight when Penny does he shoots a 3, but he does like a spin move, step back. It's just such a fluid motion.
Yeah.
I think Penny he was just so special. And I love that they were able to kind of bury the hatchet. I know you've seen the interview where they're by the poolside and they're admitting that, had they stayed together, they would have won more championships, or at least one championship. So I will go with Penny Hardaway.
And look, that's a fair point, but I'm going to go with D Wade here for two reasons. One, he's the only other player that Shaq won a championship with, right?
True.
And Dwayne Wade was not only the only other player that won Shaq a championship, he was the first player that Shaq was willing to defer to.
Okay.
I think that's the important part there.
That's a good point. It's a great point.
He's the first player that Shaq was willing to defer to. And like Maurice said, that was the last part of Shaq's prime. He was already leaving the prime, but he was still averaging around 20 points per game. Obviously, Dwayne Wade got the finals MVP there, rightfully so. He was like Jordan-esque during that finals. But Shaq was very important to that team, too, and to that finals. It's a shame that him and Pat Riley did not get along for very long.
Yeah.
But
that's a lot of players, though.
Yeah, that's a lot of players.
Jimmy Butler, a lot of players.
Yeah, and by the way, I made a slip there. I said, we talk about Hall of Famers. Penny Hardaway is not a Hall of Famer.
He should be.
I think he should be.
That's debatable.
Well, it depends. Like, okay, this is like, we've had this conversation about other players. Like, was their prime long enough to warrant Hall of Fame?
Grant Hill was.
He had a long career afterwards that was successful with multiple playoffs runs.
Yeah.
And he became an all-defensive player afterwards, too.
Yeah. I think Grant Hill was in the MVP conversation, too. I don't think Penny ever was, even though he was a walking highlight reel. And he was all NBA first team 1 or 2 years. But I don't think he had a long enough career. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
The long enough prime, yeah.
All right, let's move on to Moses.
All right. Before we do, though, I'm stealing Lucas's thunder because he usually does this. Ready?
Oh, no.
Is there a player that played with both Moses and Shaq? Because there is one.
Okay.
And he's been mentioned, obviously.
He's been mentioned. Okay.
Or should I wait until you do? Maybe
no,
I'll wait.
I'm trying to figure it out.
So we get
I'll wait. I'll wait. So I just dangled a carrot for the audience. You got to wait and listen. All right, let's switch over to Moses.
They drafted me, and then the owner of the Sixers says, why don't you go to Summer League, show me you can play, and I might make some trades. Man, I went to Summer League. I was out there rebounding like a madman. I was running, jumping, dunking, everything. Ended up trading 2 players, and my first contract was 4 years, $2 million. But the best thing happened to me was Moses Malone, because I was not getting to play. I was not getting to play because I was fat and out of shape. I asked Moses one day, can I come see you after practice? He says, sure, young fella. I said, Moses, why am I not getting to play? He says, son, you fat and you lazy. I'm like, what? He said, you fat and you lazy. He said, son, you got a lot of talent, but you can't work hard because you're so fat. And PG, this whole thing changed my whole career. One of the greatest players ever met me before practice, after practice, and he got me to lose 50 pounds. He got me from 300 to 250. And the rest is history.
Good story. Great story.
Great story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that was the linchpin for Charles Barkley to have his own Hall of Fame career. Moses Malone started his career with the 74-75 Utah Stars of the ABA. There were no really notable teammates here. So let's move on to the 1975-76 ABA team, because there are some notable names here. First of all, they were coached by Rob Thorne.
Hey!
Get out of town. I did not know that.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good little nugget there.
Yeah,
Gosh, he must have been young back then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Some of his teammates were, these are notable names, M.L. Carr, Don Chaney.
I know Don Chaney.
Yeah.
Caldwell.
He was a referee for a long time, wasn't he?
He was coach, right?
Coach. He's
coach.
coach.
Wait,
sure.
Don Chaney or John Chaney?
Don Chaney.
Don Chaney? Okay.
D-O-N.
Okay.
Yeah. Maurice Lucas.
Okay.
Caldwell, my namesake. Caldwell Jones.
Yep.
Yeah, so just a couple notable names. Nothing too crazy.
Right.
But actually, I forgot one player. Another coach. He played
Larry
with
Brown?
No,
not Larry
that was a
Brown,
good guess,
no.
though. Good guess,
Yeah.
though. Mike D'Antoni.
Oh,
Get out of town. Okay.
Yes.
He did play at Marshall. He did play at Marshall in college, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. This is his third year in the NBA. Now, ABA, excuse me, ABA. That's tripping me up. Because I always think NBA. Yeah, he only played 2 games with the Buffalo Braves. But there were some notable names there as well. Adrian Dantley. Bob McAdoo.
Did you say 2 or 3 games? Because he only played 2 games. Yeah, 2 games.
2. Basketball Reference says 2.
Yeah. Bob McAdoo, yep, he was on the Braves.
Yeah, and Adrian Dantley. Now, let's go to the NBA, because this is where it really gets good. Now, I'm going to skip ahead to the 1980-81 Houston Rockets.
Yep, that was a good team.
Yeah. Now, actually, Lucas, their record was 40-42.
Really?
Yeah. This was a great Moses season, statistically for him.
Yeah, it was.
Now, in the playoffs, they went to the finals. They lost 4-2 to the Boston Celtics. They beat the Kansas City Kings at that point, the Spurs, and they beat the Lakers in the first round. If you remember, going back to winning time, I think Magic Johnson missed most of that season with an injury. Yeah. So they beat the Lakers in the first round. Interesting. And that was the Birds. That was Birds' first championship.
Yeah.
Some of his teammates were Mike Dunleavy,
Senior. Okay.
Yeah, senior. Calvin Murphy.
Yep.
Rudy Tomjanovich.
Oh,
Rudy
that's
T.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. He was still playing at that point.
Yes, he was. He was in his 11th season. Yeah, so that's it. No real other notable names.
Elvin Hayes?
No, Elvin Hayes was not on that team.
Was it? Okay. He must have been traded to the Bullets already.
Let me check the 79-80. The 79-80 had Rick Barry.
Ooh.
And Calvin Murphy, Rudy Tomjanovich, same players. Just Rick Barry.
Wow, Rick Barry played with Moses? I did not know that.
Yes.
I knew he played for Houston, but I did not know they were teammates.
Remember, that was the end of Rick's career. Elvin
Hayes plays on the 81-82 Rockets.
Yeah, there we go. So Moses' last season there.
Yes, he was.
But Elvin was past his prime at that point. And he played on the 71-72 Rockets too. But
before he went on to the segue, Philadelphia 76ers, where he will eventually become an NBA champion. You guys remember, since we're all Sixers fans, do you remember how many wins the Sixers had that season?
I do not, but no, they had more than 50.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah.
They were 65-17.
Ooh.
Coached by, of course, Billy Cunningham, executive Pat Williams, who went on to draft Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah. Oh, look at that connection.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a connection there.
That is a good connection.
Reminds me of my connection I'm going to blow your minds with.
Okay.
I actually know the answer now that I'm going through the names. I know the answer now.
All right, well.
I know. I do know the answer.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of his teammates on the Sixers was, of course, once again, my namesake, Maurice Cheeks, Dr. J, Mark Ivoroni, No Baloney, Bobby Jones, Clint Richardson, and Andrew Toney. That was his championship team with the Sixers. Obviously, they beat the Lakers swept the Lakers. That was Moses saying 4-4-4, but the Milwaukee Bucks, they got a win over the Sixers in the Eastern Conference. Back then, they only had 3 rounds, which is crazy to think about in the playoffs.
Well, they didn't have as many expansion teams either.
True. That's true. True.
I don't even think there was 20 teams in the league still at that point.
Yeah. And it wasn't even the popularity of the NBA was nowhere near what it was in the 90s. So
it was growing thanks to Magic and Bird, but it wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't there yet. All right, so who won the most games with Moses Malone as a teammate? I mentioned his name. This one is going to be a little tougher than Kobe.
A little tough?
Say that.
Okay.
But go ahead, Uri.
Man. I'm going to say Mo Cheeks. because I think Cheeks might have played with him in San Antonio, maybe. But yeah, I'll say Mo Cheeks.
All right. Lucas?
I'm going to go with the other Maurice on this list, Maurice Lucas, because I don't know. I don't know.
It's a shot in the dark for Lucas.
He has my first name as his last name, so why
Well,
not?
that's the real reason.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Maurice and Lucas. There you go. I just put that
Mm-hmm.
together. All right. Mo Cheeks was actually number 2.
Oh, man.
With
Who's number
229. You were just going to get this one. This is Calvin Murphy.
Oh, okay. Houston. Yeah.
That makes sense.
246.
We need to do a comp for Calvin.
Yeah.
And third was actually Bobby Jones instead of Dr. J. Bobby Jones played one more game than Dr. J did. And 222. Dr. J had 220. There you go.
Okay, there you go.
Here we go.
All
right. So I want to highlight 2 more teams. Although this was out of Moses's prime, some notable names here for his teammates. I'm going to highlight the 88-89 Atlanta Hawks. They won 52, lost 30. Their coach is Mike Fratello. Some of his teammates were Antoine Carr, Cliff Livingston, Doc Rivers, who went on did Doc Rivers coach Shaq?
Yes, he did.
He did.
2000 with the Celtics.
With the Celtics, yeah.
There you go. That's another connection.
Remember, he was in the locker room eating hot dogs and breakdancing. Shaq, cut it out, Shaq. We got a game. Suit up. We got a game.
Reggie Theus, the basketball contest legend, Spud Webb, and of course Dominique Wilkins.
Nick.
At this point, Moses was like an OG veteran in the locker room.
Yeah.
His backup was John Concat.
This is when Moses had the goggles, Maurice. Remember that?
Yeah, with them, the Bullets, and the Spurs.
Yep.
Speaking of Spurs, this is his last season in the NBA.
Oh, I know the answer already now.
Yeah.
Damn.
You
guys suck. I hate you.
94 and 95 Spurs. They won 62 and 20. Spurs was always good for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Their coach
Say the name, Maurice.
Their coach was Bob Hill. The executive at that point was Greg Popovich. Some of his teammates that season was, of course, Dennis Rodman, who played with both Moses and Shaquille O'Neal. David Robinson, Doc Rivers, J.R. Reed, Chuck Persons, Avery Johnson, who we talk about a lot, Sean Elliott, Vinny Del Negro, Terry Cummings, and Willie Anderson. That was a really good Spurs team. I wonder, they ran into the Rockets, who beat them 4-2 in the Western Conference Finals. But that was a really good Spurs team, if I must say so myself. All right, so to wrap this up, which teammates stood out throughout the long 21-year career of Moses Malone? A lot of names.
Calvin Murphy. Yeah, it has to be Calvin, right? Because, we could go with the Sixers, but I'm going to let you guys do that. Calvin Murphy was so underrated, and they were a pretty good dynamic duo. Mm-hmm. Okay, they were.
Yeah, one of the most games.
And they were the reason that the Spurs were able to stick as a franchise, because before then they started out in San Diego, didn't last. They moved to Houston, and when Moses got there, that's what really got them going, right?
True.
So I'm going to say Calvin Murphy.
That's a good call. And I'll go with Dr. J, just because
that's easy.
I think Dr. J needed Moses as much as Moses needed Dr. J to win a championship. I mean, they were very different personality-wise. Dr. J would get in front of a camera and he was eloquent. He was the media darling of the day. Before Michael Jordan was in the spotlight and got all these endorsements, Dr. J did it first. Dr. J had commercials with Coca-Cola, commercials for Converse. So he helped the NBA become more mainstream in the 70s into the 80s, where Moses was more reserved, like Paul Nepper alludes to. Shout out to Paul Nepper, who wrote a biography.
Do you think that's the reason why Moses is underrated in history? Because he is a reserved person, kind of like Tim Duncan or Jokic?
Probably. That's a good point. That probably he did not bring a lot of attention to himself because that just was not his personality. But I think Dr. J was his, not best teammate, but the teammate, in my opinion, that stands out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
What about you, Maurice?
If I had to pick a player that stands out the most in Moses Malone's career, He's a big man that always needed a point guard to give him the ball. I'm not saying it because that's my name.
I knew that. As soon as it said point guard, I knew it.
Bo Cheeks.
That's fair.
Hey, you know what? If we talk, bring up his name. I brought up his name earlier. Kevin Garnett. It kind of reminds me of Kevin Garnett because Kevin Garnett was a superstar player on his own with the Timberwolves. Then he got traded to the Celtics. It was already a good built team.
Yep.
They bring us some more players, and they win a championship. So
fair.
yeah,
Good.
so
That's a good one.
that kind of reminds me.
There.
Yeah, good parallels.
Yeah.
So it kind of reminds me of the same thing. But Mo Cheeks, Dr. J, that Sixers team is one of the greatest teams for that season ever.
Yeah.
When you look at all the statistics and who they beat.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mo Cheeks is for me.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That was a good alley-oop, Lucas. You set Maurice up slam dunk and, highlight his own name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all started with us blocking your shot, though.
Whoa.
Anyway.
Hold on now. That's not my fault. That's ChatGPT's fault.
It's your fault for using it.
I'm not taking any responsibility for inaccuracies.
Responsibility?
Yeah.
Okay, malarkey.
Okay, fair.
What was the word? Malar. The much Millard.
Much Millard.
Look,
that was funny.
This episode's going to be hopefully listened by Shaq, and he's going to get a kick out of some of this.
Yeah. Shaq loves the jokes.
Yeah.
All right, so with that said, let's get on out of here.
Now that we've given you all the facts on Shaquille O'Neal and Moses Malone, it's time for you to make your case.
At this point, it's not about our opinion. It's about yours.
We'll see you on your favorite social media platform, ready to check out your takes. You can find us on X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads.
For the sources of information used in this episode, you can visit our website, nbanowandthen.com. Also visit our website to sign up for our monthly newsletter and check out our comparison articles written by Lucas.
Oh, thank you. Don't forget. Keep the thank you in there. Don't forget, you can follow the NBA stars we featured on today's episode through their social medias or their foundation website.
That's right. You can support Moses Malone's legacy by checking out the Moses Malone Foundation at www.mosesmalonefoundation.org.
And you can follow Shaquille O'Neal on Twitter, X, and Instagram at Shaq. All right, that was fun, guys. Want to say thanks to Paul Nepper for joining us in this episode, for co-hosting with us. You can buy his book on Amazon or online. He has a book coming out on November 1st, Moses Malone, The Life of a Basketball Prophet. That being said, on behalf of Maurice and Lucas and Paul Nepper and Ben, NBA Now and Then, the greatest comparisons. Peace.
Deuces.
But he was a great. He was a good player.
Is there a more Millard player because of a NBA Finals? Actually, there is.
Wait, a more Millard? What is that?
Sorry, not Millard. What is Millard?
Who's making up words?
No. The word that you would say, like, not maligned. Saying thank you. Sorry, maligned. Let me. Can I get it? Can I? You can blooper this if you need to.
Oh, I'm definitely. No, I might keep that in the whole thing.
Please don't. Okay. Anyway.